Political Tuesday thriller. Political quake over war of alliances. N.D.A. Delhi huddle versus opposition Bengaluru meet. Can Special 26 take on Modi in 2024? Is 2024 a battle of alliances? Top focus on 5 lines.
A very good evening. You're watching India Today. I'm Nabila, Jamal. It's indeed a Tuesday political thriller. Super One, India Today is on top of the story where we're looking at the 2024 tone has been set. It's now going to be N.D.A. versus India, the new acronym that the UPA has given to its opposition united front. A meeting currently that's happening in Bengaluru. We heard all the top guns of those regional parties coming together as one unit, speaking to the media. It's now time for the N.D.A. show of strength. We're going to bring you all the live updates. The headlines first. UPA has now been renamed India for Indian National Developmental Inclusive Alliance. That's what it stands for. The Congress chief Mallikarjun Kharge says the opposition will fight 2024 polls together. Mamta roars, saying India will win, BJP will lose. Prime Minister Modi's unsparing attack on the opposition, says family first, nation is nothing for the opposition. Reiterates the 20 lakh crore graph that has been levelled against the opposition leaders, many of them trying to wriggle out of the investigation.
दायित्व कुछ है, हाल कुछ है, लेबिल कुछ है, माल कुछ है। 24 के लिए 26 होने वाले राजनीतिक दलों पर ये बड़ा फिट बैठता है।
N.D.A. counter-strike on the united opposition. BJP and 37 allies huddle in the national capital soon now. Time ticking for that meet to begin. Prime Minister Modi hails the N.D.A, says it is a time-tested alliance and is focused around national progress. The court grants interim bail to suspended chief of the WFI. 2-day interim bail for Brij Bhushan. Regular bail plea to come up on Thursday. Tamil Nadu Mantri Ponmudi has been grilled for over 8 hours at the Chennai ED office on Monday. Second grilling session that's happening today. He's been summoned. 4 p.m. it all began. He's still with the ED officials being questioned. All right, that's Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who's come out with his first reaction after UPA has changed its name now to India. That's the new acronym for the UPA, the United Alliance, the United Opposition Alliance now will be called India. Now, Prime Minister Modi has tweeted on this, saying that right after the India meet concludes, Prime Minister says, ours is a time-tested alliance. N.D.A. seeks to further national progress. Prime Minister also to attend the meeting shortly now in Delhi of the N.D.A. alliance. And while opposition unity meet has just about ended, the Prime Minister puts out a tweet saying N.D.A. is a tried and tested, or rather time-tested alliance. Ours is a time-tested alliance. The N.D.A. seeks further national progress. This is the aim of the N.D.A. This is, of course, the Prime Minister asserting that the N.D.A.'s alliances or the alliance partners are all natural partners. They are aimed at the progress of this country, unlike the newly formed India. Basically pointing at UPA's new name, I.N.D.I.A, which is India. Prime Minister Modi's first reaction. Soon after that opposition unity ended, Prime Minister puts out a message saying that ours, the NDA, is a time-tested alliance. NDA seeks to further national progress. I have with me joining us Rahul Srivastav, who's tracking those developments at the opposition unity meet live in Bengaluru. We also have Paulami joining us live from Delhi, where the NDA meeting is due to begin. Let me start with Paulami. Paulami, a quick word from you. What time is the NDA meeting going to start? Prime Minister Modi himself is going to be in attendance. And are all 38 parties, alliance partners, going to be in attendance today?
That's right. We are standing by at the venue right now, the Ashok Hotel in Delhi, where that NDA meeting is to commence very shortly at about 5:30 p.m. We expect that the Prime Minister will be arriving at the venue. All the top leadership of the Bharatiya Janata Party, which includes, of course, the Defence Minister, the Home Minister, J.P.Nadda, BJP President, who will officially be convening this meeting of NDA allies. They're all over here already. NDA allies, including Edipadi Palaniswamy as well as Nufu Rio. There is also Jitan Ram Manji. Also I.N.D.I.A. These are some of the leaders that we can see on our screens right now. You can just show, my camera person Alok will show you just the media contingent that's present over here as I take you through some of those pictures that we're getting from that NDA meeting. I beg your pardon. They're all standing by right now in order to, of course, welcome the Prime Minister as he arrives for this meeting. Of course, the Prime Minister has just tweeted a short while ago saying that this is a time-tested alliance. Remember that the NDA has completed 25 years. This year, in 1988, is when the NDA was formed. Since then, many allies, including one of its oldest allies, left its side, which was, of course, the Shiromani Akali Dal over the farmers' protest issue. But the BJP, of course, we hear, is still trying to woo the SAD back into the NDA fold. Similar sort of murmurs we hear about the TDP as well in terms of bringing them on board. The JDS is also playing ball with the BJP as far as Karnataka politics is concerned, possibly expected to join the NDA fold as well. Again, conversation that is still underway as far as that is concerned. But in the pictures, if you're getting those images right now, Nabila, we can see J.P.Nadda, Jitan Ram Manji, Eknath Shinde, Edapadi Palaniswamy, all of them present over here in order to welcome Prime Minister Modi as he, in fact, arrives for this meeting of the NDA. 38 parties.
Can you tell us a little? See images coming in. Those are live images coming in from Delhi of the NDA meeting. Follow me, the time precisely when this meeting is going to begin and what exactly is the primary agenda of this NDA show of strength? We know it's happening right in time when the opposition alliances have come together or the opposition unity meet was held in Bengaluru. Last evening was a dinner, today was a formal meeting. They've changed the UPA's name now to India. While that hectic developments are happening on that end, on the opposition end, here is the ruling NDA that's come together in a show of strength. But is there a core agenda to this meeting apart from just the optics?
Well, as far as this meeting is concerned, like I said, to answer the question that you asked at the start, this meeting is expected to begin at about 5:30. But already with the NDA leader standing by, we're expecting that the Prime Minister will be here shortly. They're just awaiting the Prime Minister's arrival to, in fact, begin this NDA meeting. But this is the first NDA meeting that is happening in Modi Sarkar 2.0. So since this government came to power for a second term in 2019, this is the first meeting of the NDA that's happening. Yes, the optics part of it is huge and possibly one of the big points that the NDA, that the BJP wants to make in terms of perception, because already the opposition was building up in terms of perception from 17 parties in Patna on June 23rd, 26 opposition parties that came together over the last couple of days in Bengaluru in order to forge a new alliance called India. The BJP, of course, was feeling the heat. Also, there was a perception among its allies that they were being sidelined. They were feeling insecure about the fact that the BJP was growing from strength to strength, that it had regional aspirations, which in a way was cutting into and eating into the aspirations of other regional allies. But that is something that the BJP now wants to counter, because it needs to forge these alliances if it is to, in fact, repeat the spectacular performance of the party and the alliance in 2019.
Paulami, do stay with us. I'm going to quickly cut across to Rahul as well, who's joining us from Bengaluru. He's been privy to the extensive meeting that was carried out with all the regional chiefs. speaking one after the other, hailing this unity of the opposition, now renamed from UPA to India. This is indeed a big move, Rahul. It's sent tongues wagging. There's enough and more discourse on the new acronym now given to the UPA, which is called India. But how much good does it do to the opposition unity? Is it one step forward for them in terms of showing a united, a strong unit to take on the BJP?
See, when it comes to the opposition unity element, this is definitely a leap of hope. Why I say that? Because till yesterday, it was ridden with improbabilities that whether this will happen, whether this can happen. So eventually 26 political parties, many of them bitter critics and rivals in different states, have eventually come together. One of the most surprising element was, for the first time in decades, I have heard Mamata Banerjee referring to Sitaram Yechuri of CPM and D. Raja of the CPI, mentioning their name not in a negative, critical manner or in any other way. And she, in fact, addressed them and mentioned them as a mark of respect. Now, this perhaps is a good template to begin with. But if you heard the press conference, questions were asked about, has there been a decision on the face, coordination, chairman, or any other somebody who will be leading, or even the face of India, this new 26-party alliance. Mr. Kharge, though,
Rahul, I request you for a moment. Apologies. That's at Ashoka Hotel. Live images coming in of Prime Minister Modi himself arriving for this N.D.A. meeting. Paulami is joining us right from the spot at Ashoka. That's J.P. Nadda greeting the Prime Minister. Some of the alliance partners, Eknath Shinde as well, Chief Minister of Maharashtra. You also have Edappadi Palaniswamy of the A.I.N.D.I.A. These are top leaders, alliance partners of the BJP as part of the N.D.A. alliance who are greeting the Prime Minister. This is indeed huge for the N.D.A. as they're coming together right on the same day. The opposition has decided to meet. In a way, a strong message going out that they are a strong unit themselves and have a bigger number, 38 versus 26. Paulami joining us. Paulami, Prime Minister has arrived. What's the enthusiasm like among the N.D.A. members?
That's right. We can report that the Prime Minister has arrived at the venue right now at the Ashok Hotel in Delhi, where that N.D.A. meeting, like I said, is to shortly convene. So the Prime Minister over there being greeted by N.D.A. allies, in fact, who lined up to welcome the Prime Minister. That included, of course, BJP President J.P. Nadda and allies, which included Nephew Rio from Nagaland, as well as Eknath Shinde, Chief Minister of the state of Maharashtra, as well as Edappadi Palaniswamy, who also was there. Jitan Ram Manji was also there as well. So these are, of course, some of the allies of the BJP. The BJP, of course, showcasing its strength and muscle as it brings together alliance partners from 37 other parties to this one podium today in Delhi, basically flexing its muscle and saying that the N.D.A. is not dead, that the N.D.A. is very much alive. And while, of course, the opposition is forging an anti-Modi and anti-BJP bloc, as far as the N.D.A. is concerned, they're firmly behind the Bharatiya Janata Party. So today, of course, is a conglomerate of some existing and some new allies who have joined and come together over here for this N.D.A. meeting. So as far as N.D.A. meetings go, Eknath Shinde and his faction of the Shiv Sena is attending one such N.D.A. meeting for the first time. Same goes for Ajit Pawar and Praful Patel, who represent the Ajit Pawar faction of the NCP. Chirag Paswan, who formally joined and officially joined the N.D.A. fold yesterday, is in fact part of this meeting as well. O.P. Rajbhar, also now part of the N.D.A. He's present as well. Jitan Ram Manji back in the N.D.A. fold. He's present at this meeting as well. Also interestingly, Pawan Kalyan, Janasena chief, is here from Andhra Pradesh attending this meeting as well. So some new allies and some existing allies, but obviously a lot of criticism that the N.D.A. faces from the opposition, saying some of its time-tested allies have left its side over the last few years, which includes the JDU, which includes the Uddhav Thackeray faction of the Shiv Sena, the TDP and the Shiromani Akali Dal.
You know, it's very interesting to see that all of these alliance members are today in attendance, and the new entry, like you rightly said, is Chirag Paswan. So somehow it appears that Chirag Paswan is trying to rope in on board even his uncle. The LJP will be a strong addition to the N.D.A. as an alliance partner, because they've managed to win well in the 2019 Lok Sabha election. So the BJP is really hoping to embolden itself with the involvement of this new ally, or rather coming back to the NDA's fold. Now, at a time like this, when we're seeing the opposition unity itself strengthening on one end, on the other, the NDA scheduled a meeting right on the very same day that this was decided. Was this a deliberate attempt, or is this coincidental that the NDA also has its alliance meeting today itself, around the same time?
No, it is definitely a very, very interesting choice of date, Nabila, because it was not a date which was finalized a long time ago, and then the opposition, of course, chose their dates for the Bangalore meeting. So it was around about the same time, just a few days apart, that both alliances, in fact, decided that this is going to be the date when they're going to meet. Of course, the opposition had a two-day meeting in Bangalore, and the NDA chose to, of course, announce this meeting today itself, on the day that the main meeting of the opposition alliance was happening in Bangalore. This, of course, very crucially comes before the monsoon session of Parliament as well. So the NDA, of course, they're flexing its muscles, because remember that all of these parties now pose a new challenge for the Bharatiya Janata Party-led NDA in Parliament, because, for instance, as far as the Congress is concerned, it has extended its support to the I.N.D.I.A party as far as the Delhi Services Ordinance is concerned, and all of those other opposition parties are going to back Arvind Kejriwal when that ordinance is brought forward in Parliament as well. Similar such issues, the Manipur issue is also going to be discussed, in the sense that the opposition will press for a discussion, will press for responses from the Home Minister, seeking a detailed report on the law and order situation in Manipur. So there are several issues now which this collective opposition alliance is going to use to mount pressure on the NDA, on the Bharatiya Janata Party with. So that's why it has become, of course, incumbent upon the BJP to ensure that it has its strength and might. It has its strength and might in terms of sheer numbers in the Lok Sabha. It cannot be defeated, the NDA, in terms of the numbers that it has in the Lok Sabha. But in the Rajya Sabha, there is obviously the challenge that it faces. The numbers balance is, the game, so to say, Nabila, is a very tightrope balancing act which is being done between the BJP-led NDA and the opposition as well. And that's when it will come into the picture, and very crucially so it will come into the picture when the Delhi Services Ordinance, which is going to be one of the big talking points of this monsoon session of Parliament, that is brought into the upper house of Parliament. So at the time that the opposition is forging its numbers to corner the BJP is hoping to flex some muscles and say, basically, that we're not dead, the NDA is not dead, we have our allies and partners, but the opposition, of course, countering it and saying, let's speak about that in Parliament. How many of these allies even have MPs in Parliament?
You know, Pallavi, this NDA meeting also comes right after Prime Minister Modi's spirited attack, or quite a personal attack, right early today, when he spoke extensively about the corruption charges leveled against many of the opposition party leaders, about dynasty politics, on many levels, attacked outrightly at the number of opposition parties who have come together and accused them of trying to wriggle out of these corruption charges by standing together united. And he himself, as a Prime Minister himself, he says that I'm one against them all. So for the NDA alliance meet, Prime Minister Modi himself to arrive and be part of it certainly is quite a moral booster for the alliance partners as well, the ruling alliance.
Absolutely, it is a morale booster, but the BJP needs this as well, for the alliance partners to feel that they're needed, that they're wanted, that they form a critical part of this alliance, and they're not just mere placeholders or fixtures as far as this alliance is concerned, that they're not being replaced by the Bharatiya Janata Party in their various states in terms of their own regional aspirations. The BJP, of course, was getting that feeling, and the feelers that were coming in from, of course, the grassroots level was that allies were feeling left out, allies were feeling that they don't exactly, hold a major position as far as the scheme of things within the NDA is concerned. All major partners, in fact, those who flexed any kind of muscle, had left the NDA fold because of the BJP in the last few years. Like I said, naming a few of them, Shiromani Akali Dal left the Bharatiya Janata Party, its oldest ally ever. Then, of course, the TDP, Then, of course, she wasn't technically a part of the NDA alliance, but PDP's Mehbooba Mufti, who was in government with the Bharatiya Janata Party in Jammu and Kashmir, quit the alliance as well. Quit, the government of the BJP-PDP alliance in Jammu and Kashmir after the BJP, of course, pulled the rug from under her feet. So there are several such instances as far as Ramvilas Paswan's party is concerned, Lok Janshakti party is concerned. After the demise of the leader, you saw how the party split as well. Pashupati Paras came on board with the NDA, with the Bharatiya Janata Party. He was made a minister in the union government as well. And Chirag was left out all by himself. He's the only member of parliament, so to say, technically from his faction of the LJP, but now he's on board.
Like Rajdeep Sardesai, today's consulting editor, had mentioned a little earlier, for the NDA right now, it's fairly simple, or rather, it's not much of a responsibility for them to prove their merit, because for one, they're already in power, they have the numbers, and more importantly, they have a prime ministerial face. Prime Minister Modi is certainly the most popular prime minister and the prime minister candidate for 2024 as well. So it's really, at this point for the NDA, this meeting is mere coming together to boost the morale of their alliance partners and only to send out a message. That's more or less what we understand from this. But looking at the opposition unity meet a little earlier, we heard Mallikarjun Kharge and the entire bunch, all the regional party heads speaking, and their attack was clearly on one man, and that was Prime Minister Modi. His promises have failed, people are unhappy, they've ruined India and all the sectors in India, and we are here to save India, save democracy, save secularism, etc. So this is almost Modi versus all, isn't it, Palmi?
Well, it seems like, while the opposition, of course, will say that they're targeting the Bharatiya Janata Party, but they, of course, make that same allegation against the NDA bloc that it is all about one individual and his aspirations, which is Narendra Modi. And very interestingly, this is what the BJP makes it about as well, that one man is enough to take on that entire alliance, that entire alliance of partners.
Paulami, we're getting live visuals here of Prime Minister Modi being garlanded by all the alliance members there. Paulami, if you're able to look at those images, please do explain to us the kind of optics this really projects. A huge garland for that's used to honor Prime Minister Modi's arrival right at that meeting there at Ashoka Hotel in Delhi. This is almost 38 alliance partners who have come together to show strength to the NDA ahead of 2024. The battle lines certainly have been drawn. That's Prime Minister Modi almost greeting Chirag, the man who's come back to the NDA's fold. He's meeting with a bunch of those alliance partners. Paulami, give us more, if you're able to see these images. It speaks for a lot, all of the alliance partners greeting Prime Minister Modi one after the other.
That's right. I'm looking at some of those images right now that are coming in from inside the venue hall right now. The Prime Minister, they're greeting all the partners that have come in. That was a very warm exchange, of course, that the Prime Minister had with Chirag Paswan. The Prime Minister, of course, held Mr. Ramvilas Paswan, Chirag's father, in high regard as well. Now, this is going to be extremely crucial, given that the BJP will have to do the balancing act as far as Chirag and his uncle, Pashupati Paras's aspirations are concerned. Chirag Paswan earlier spoke exclusively to our colleague Ashok Singhal this morning after, of course, formally joining the NDA yesterday and meeting with JP-Led and Amit Shah. And he clearly stated that, I have no ill word to say. I have, the water's flown under the bridge. I am moving on now. I want to build my party. I want to work for the people of Bihar. As far as my uncle is concerned, I do hear that he keeps saying a lot of things as to how, he will do anything but join hands with me. Those are his views, of course, but clearly, the bitter exchange that happened between the two family members after the passing away of Ramvilas Paswan, that somehow is not something that's in the past as well. So the BJP, of course, has to do the balancing act in terms of the aspirations of both sides, in terms of the seats they want to contest from as well. Hajipur is going to be extremely crucial because Chirag is unlikely to allow for anyone a seat that is far father represented for a very long time. He's unlikely to have anyone else represent that or contest that seat, if you may, from, of course, as far as the LJP faction is concerned. So that is, of course, going to be extremely crucial. As well as we look at those images, you can see Eknath Shinde over there. You can see, of course, all the leaders over there who are, presenting the Prime Minister with that massive garland as well. The Prime Minister there, Upendra Kushwaha, greeting Upendra Kushwaha. Of course, he is joined on the one side by Amit Shah as well. Upendra Kushwaha, again, someone who was part of the NDA fold, left the NDA fold, joined the Mahagathbandhan in Bihar and has come back to the NDA fold as well. It's going to be very interesting. I see Anupriya Patel in some of those images as well. Now, Anupriya Patel, and you see Sanjay Nishad as well. Now, that is going to be very interesting. Again,
a very interesting aspect here of this NDA meeting is that Pawan Kalyan, the Jan Sena chief, has been invited, while TDP and YSRCP, both of them have been skipped. This is the same YSRCP and the TDP. Both of them had attended the Parliament's inauguration, almost warming up to the BJP. But it appears that both the parties, the TDP and the YSRCP, have been skipped. But instead, the smaller player, Pawan Kalyan's Jan Sena, have been invited to this NDA meet.
That's right. As far as Pawan Kalyan is concerned, it's very interesting how the equation has developed as far as Pawan Kalyan and the BJP is concerned. Now, the Prime Minister last year, when he visited Vizag, Visakhapatnam, he dedicated a 30-minute closed-door meeting to Pawan Kalyan. A lot of speculation then went down as to what was discussed between the two leaders, but that was when he was on an official program to Visakhapatnam, the Prime Minister, that in the evening he dedicated 30 minutes to just having a one-on-one bit between himself and Pawan Kalyan. No images per se were released from that meeting. Pawan Kalyan, of course, spoke with the media that was waiting outside, did not get let out much, but that in itself is the hugest indication in terms of how much importance Pawan Kalyan and the alliance with Pawan Kalyan that was in the works was being given at that point of time. As far as TDP is concerned, again, no official word on it. We hear a lot about how the back channels are being worked in order to bring the TDP on board, but then that is again part of very detailed
that way TDP and the Jan Sena seem like one unit. Both of them are close either way. So possibly it's a way to look at it is that possibly TDP and Jan Sena, both of them come as one unit fighting against the YSRCP. But clearly here the BJP has chosen at this point to invite Pawan Kalyan and leave out the other two. But for what we see here is that most of the alliance partners have arrived. We don't see Ajit Pawar. Have you seen Ajit Pawar yet? Has the newly sworn-in Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra come by to represent the NCP Parliament?
Well, in those pictures, I do see Praful Patel so far, but I haven't seen Ajit Pawar yet. But Ajit Pawar is expected to be at this meeting. We're not very sure where he is at the moment in terms of those pictures that we're looking at. But yes, Ajit Pawar is expected to be present in this meeting, but we'll try and get a confirmation of that. But Eknath Shinde, of course, arrived earlier. It was, in fact, speculated that Eknath Shinde and the Deputy Chief Minister of the state, Ajit Pawar, would be travelling together, that they'd come together as far as this meeting is concerned. But when I look at these images, of course, I see Mr. Praful Patel. I don't see Ajit Pawar in those pictures. So again, it remains to be seen whether Ajit Pawar, of course, is attending this meeting. We'll try and get a confirmation of the same. But these are the pictures that we're getting at the moment from inside the venue where that meeting has in fact begun. So we will of course try and get more details because the Prime Minister is likely to speak and address the NDA partners at that meeting. It's been 25 years of the N.D.A. There are new entrants into the N.D.A. like of course the Eknath Shinde faction of the Shiv Sena, though the Shiv Sena again was a staunch supporter of the N.D.A., a partner of the N.D.A. But when it broke away, one faction chose to come back and rejoin the N.D.A. The other faction is now part of the India alliance. So it's going to be very interesting to see how all of this is worked out, because eventually, Nabila, it boils down to their strength in numbers.
Correct.
It's about perception, yes. It's about putting up a stage front of 38 parties, yes. But can the Eknath Shinde, if we speak of, say, the Shiv Sena, can the
Right.
Eknath Shinde faction
All right.
win
So
more
we see some images there, Palumi, of Ajit Pawar. So it appears that he's also very much part of this meeting. Ajit Pawar is also attending this N.D.A. alliance meet. So this is really a big, big message being sent out to the opposition unity meet, right on the same day that the opposition unity had their grand alliance meeting. On the same day, the N.D.A. chose to come together. And here are the visuals coming live of Prime Minister Modi being honored by all the alliance partners with a massive garland. He's likely to talk in a few moments from now, but I'm going to quickly toss to the very sharp attack that Prime Minister Modi made on the opposition parties and the netas who have come together to form a united opposition, accusing each one of them of being corrupt and a product of dynasty politics, saying that this is family first for them and the nation really means nothing. While the 26 opposition parties have gathered in Bengaluru to chalk out their strategy, here's the N.D.A. coming together as a show of strength, with the Prime Minister Modi starting the day with a blistering attack on the opposition's unity meet. Listen in.
एक चेहरे पर कई चेहरे लगा लेते हैं लोग, एक चेहरे पर कई चेहरे लगा लेते हैं लोग। आप देखिए ये लोग कितने चेहरे लगाकर बैठे हैं। जब ये लोग कैमरे के सामने एक फ्रेम में आ जाते हैं तो पहला विचार देश के सामने क्या आता है? पहला विचार देश के लोगों के मन में यही आता है, पूरा फ्रेम देख करके देशवासी यही बोल उठता है, लाखों करोड़ों रुपए का भ्रष्टाचार। लोकतंत्र के लिए कहा जाता है ऑफ द पीपल, बाय द पीपल, फॉर द पीपल, लेकिन इन परिवारवादियों का मंत्र है ऑफ द फैमिली, बाय द फैमिली, फॉर द फैमिली। फैमिली फर्स्ट, नेशन नथिंग। इन लोगों का मोटो है, इनकी यही प्रेरणा है। नफरत है, नफरत है, घोटाले हैं, नफरत है, घोटाले हैं, तुष्टीकरण है, मन काले हैं। नफरत है, घोटाले हैं, तुष्टीकरण है, मन काले हैं। परिवारवाद की आग के दशकों से देश हवाले हैं।
All right, I'm going to quickly cut across to Pallavi Saha is also with us, and Aishwarya Paliwal too, joining us right from outside of Ashoka Hotel. Aishwarya, give us more on the sentiment, the mood among the N.D.A. alliance partners, as all of them have gathered to welcome Prime Minister Modi and have this nice, possibly a cup of tea, and discuss the road ahead for 2024. Is there really anything specific on the agenda here as part of that meeting today, or is it just to sort of warm up in a sense and send out this message that we have higher numbers, more alliance partners on board with us than the opposition?
Definitely, Nabila, are speaking. We are seeing what exactly is taking place when we talk about the opposition. The opposition now has a new name, and they are saying that they have a sole motto of making sure that they stall Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the BJP, and now the entire N.D.A. The N.D.A. partners now, obviously, when they will speak, they will also chart out a plan for the big 2024 elections. That's something which will be discussed at length today. And obviously, the strengths of each and every partner will also be something that the Prime Minister, Home Minister, and all the top leaders of the BJP, along with all the top leaders of the N.D.A. will also be speaking about in today's very crucial meeting. It will be a long meeting from what we are understanding at the moment, followed by dinner. So obviously it is a strength game and it is a numbers game. The timing obviously is something that the opposition now has been talking about. Opposition saying because we gathered in Patna and because the BJP saw our strength, that's the reason why they are gathering now. But today is the day, 25 years of the N.D.A. This is what the BJP at the moment is saying. But yes, it's an all-out war between the opposition and the BJP, and we could also also see this spilling onto the upcoming parliament session?
UPA is called I.N.D.I.A. That's the new acronym given to the UPA. The UPA name itself has been scrapped. It's now been called I.N.D.I.A. The alliance of 26 opposition parties have been renamed, and that is Indian National Developmental Inclusive Alliance, which equals to I.N.D.I.A. That's the acronym given. This comes just a day after the two mega opposition meets that took place, one in Bihar and now in Bengaluru, where at least 26 like-minded parties have come together to discuss on how they can come together as a united front and be a solid opposition or give a solid fight to the Modi government for 24. Bigwigs of the opposition parties have launched quite a scathing attack at the BJP, while Mallikarjun Kharge himself started off speaking on the Saffron Party and how there's been a vicious campaign against the opposition parties across India. You also had Rahul Gandhi, who spoke about how this fight is now between Modi and India. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee spoke about how Modi will lose indeed this time and blame Modi for selling off the country, etc. Same as Arvind Kejriwal, who accused Modi of not being successful in any stream in the last 9 years. All the attacks against the Prime Minister and the BJP as they step up as one opposition front, which is now called I.N.D.I.A. I'm going to cut across to snippets of that talk.
This is a very important meeting for the purpose to save the democracy and constitution, and in the interest of people of this country, we have come together, discussed various points, and with one voice people supported the resolution that will be circulated to you after the meeting, and the details are there. Our alliance will be called, the all people have agreed to have one name for the alliance. Earlier we worked with UPA. Now with all 26 parties, a new name is given, that is Indian National Developmental Inclusive Alliance. The BJP government wants to destroy the democracy in this country, and also they want to destroy the constitution. They are using the autonomous bodies like CBI and ED, vigilance, all such institutions they are using against opposition party leaders and their workers. There is a grave situation. To save this situation, we have come together, and country is important for us. Though we have got some differences in each state politically, but that is, we have kept that behind, not front. The front is only to how to save the country and people of this country. That is the issue before us, and that our leaders have shown. We should be together in the interest of the country, and they gave many suggestions, and we have accepted, and we will continue to follow it. In my 52 years of political active life, I have not seen such hostile information against us or against the opposition parties and suppressing the opposition leaders. So anyway, we have to fight, we will fight, and we will move together, and I hope we will succeed in this, and 2024 election we will fight unitedly and we will come out with great success.
And what we are doing here as a group is we are defending the Indian Constitution. We're defending the voice of the Indian people. We're defending the idea of our great country, the idea of India. You know what happens to anybody who opposes or tries to fight the idea of India. You can look in our history and you will see that nobody has been able to fight the idea of India. The fight is about two different ideas of India. And while we were having this discussion, this name frankly emerged from the discussion because we asked ourselves, what is the fight? Who is the fight between? And we realized the fight is not between two political formations. The fight is a fight to defend the idea of India. And that is why we came up with the name Indian National Developmental Inclusive Alliance, which also happens to stand for India.
हम लोगों ने आज सब मिलके एक रियल चैलेंज लिया है। डिटेल्स खड़गे जी ने आपको फुल फ्लेजेड नाम बताया, लेकिन इसका शॉर्ट फॉर्म में होता है इंडिया। लेट अस चैलेंज इंडिया। एनडीए, कैन यू चैलेंज इंडिया? भाजपा, कैन यू चैलेंज इंडिया? So our challenge will be all focus, all publicity, all campaigning, all program. It will be under the banner of India. India जीतेगा, भाजपा हारेगा। भारत जीतेगा, भाजपा हारेगा। इंडिया जीतेगा और हमारा देश जीतेगा।
आज से 9 साल पहले इस देश के लोगों ने नरेंद्र मोदी जी को भारी बहुमत देके जिताया था। इन 9 साल के अंदर उनके पास मौका था, वो देश के लिए बहुत कुछ कर सकते थे, लेकिन इन 9 सालों में उन्होंने एक भी सेक्टर ऐसा नहीं है जिसमें हम कह सकें कि तरक्की हुई है। हर सेक्टर को बर्बाद करने में उन्होंने कोई कसर नहीं छोड़ी। इन्होंने इकोनॉमी बर्बाद कर दी, इन्होंने रेलवे बर्बाद कर दी, सारे एयरपोर्ट बेच दिए, इन्होंने जहाज बेच दिए, आसमान बेच दिया, धरती बेच दी, पाताल बेच दिया, सब कुछ इन्होंने अपने लोगों को बेच दिया, कोई कसर नहीं छोड़ी। आज देश में हर आदमी दुखी है, युवा दुखी है, किसान दुखी है, मजदूर दुखी है, व्यापारी दुखी है, इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट दुखी है, गृहिणी दुखी है। ऐसा कौन सा व्यक्ति है जो दुखी नहीं है?
और लड़ाई हमारी एक पार्टी के खिलाफ या एक व्यक्ति के खिलाफ नहीं है, लड़ाई हमारी नीति के खिलाफ है, तानाशाही के खिलाफ है। और जैसे एक जमाने में आजादी की लड़ाई हुई थी, तो अब आजादी खतरे में आई है। तो इस आजादी के लिए हम सब इकट्ठा आए हैं और पक्का भरोसा है कि हम कामयाब रहेंगे, हो जाएंगे। और देश की जनता के मन में एक डर है कि अब क्या होगा, तो हम इतना उनको एक एहसास दिलाना चाहते हैं कि विश्वास दिलाना चाहते हैं, डरो मत, हम है। जैसे एक वो पिक्चर आया था मैं हूं ना, वैसे हम है ना, आप क्यों डरते हो, चिंता मत करो। एक व्यक्ति या एक पार्टी मतलब देश नहीं हो सकता, पूरे देश की जनता मतलब देश है। और देश की जनता अब इंडिया और भारत बनकर सामने आएगी। अपने देश को हम सुरक्षित रखेंगे।
Well, as we see, all of those alliance partners there have come together as one united front and they have renamed UPA as India.